guys, just a quick breakdown of GB CAD. This is the current outlook I've got for 4-hour time frame. You can see we're currently trading sideways at the moment. Nice rectangle pattern. We do have a nice little flag here, so there is the potential to retest the top of this channel we've got going. Alternatively, we're going to break it on the opening of the Asian session, test the bottom before either ranging or going down. Long term, you can see that the outlook for this is quite bearish. You can see we have had a couple of impulses down, impulse, correction, impulse. We've got a long correction, and now we're looking for the long trade to the downside. Where is it? To this support level here. So obviously we want to try and get in early. Like I said, we might get another touch to the top, and then we'll look to go short. But either way, we're going to go short. Whether we're going to go short now and get the long trade, or whether we're going to break up to the top and come back down. If you are going short, obviously stops at break even straight away, because there is the potential with the news of Brexit this week that we could spike up, hit the top. If we do hit the top, have the sell limits ready, ride that baby all the way down. Keep it real. Gold 1-hour chart. Last week we had this downside move, nice reversal candle. I think it was on the Wednesday night to the Thursday. We were shorting this, and a nice bearish pin bar at resistance level. Had the push to the downside. We're now going to start a correction over here. Another push to the downside I'm expecting to the daily support level, and then we're going to continue higher, possibly. A couple of scenarios here that obviously you want to look at while you're looking at these. Okay, you can see we're trading in a nice bullish channel. We need to see how price reacts around here. If we get a bullish signal, we look to go long. If news comes out and for whatever reason we break and we retest these levels here, we then look for a flag to go short. As you can see here on the 4-hour time frame, we had impulse down, and we've had a correction to the 50% retracement level. So if you're an Elliott wave trader, or you use your fib, should I say, you know, our target would be the 127, which does correlate with the daily trend line. So bearish engulfing candle, Fibonacci retracements. It's all looking pretty good to me, but obviously we need to have a look and see what market dictates in the morning. So that's gold outlook for tomorrow, for the next week or so. So safe trade, guys. Okay, Euro USD 4-hour time frame. You can see here price is consolidating. We did break out of this wedge pattern. We're now currently consolidating. We have broken a 4-hour trend line. Two scenarios: either we're going to collapse completely, or we're going to retest this channel resistance level before we go to the downside. Long term, weekly, I mean, if you have to go into the daily time frame, you can see the rejection candles we've had for the last 3 days. Very bearish outlook over there, and obviously if you look on the weekly as well. So where does this leave us for the euro? I do think that we're going to be going further down with the euro. Like I said, we might have one push to the upside to test the trend line. However, I think it's all downside from here. So that's the euro outlook. Obviously, you want to go to a lower time frame, go 1-hour, 2-hour time frames to see you get your entries right. Obviously, don't look to sell right now. You want to have a break below the support level, wait for a flag, for a retest, and then you can go short, because there is that possibility of coming down here, getting a bullish signal to go long. That's it. Happy trading. Alright guys, pound USD cable. It's the daily time frame. Last week we had some nice bullish moves within the pound pairs. Again, we've formed a nice flag for a short-term buy. When I say short-term, obviously my long-term bias on this is a bit bearish, but we'll look at the scenario for this week. So again, you can see we've got a nice flag forming here. So you want to be looking at buying opportunities. Okay, possibly we might get a push to the downside before we go up. Any break below or above would validate either the short trade or the long trade. But again, you can see we've had the push, we had momentum change, we had the break to the upside. So now we should get a push, hopefully to this daily resistance level, 32,530 level, before we have another push to the downside. If we look at, so on the 4 hour, you know, we could have a push to this support level before going higher, which would retest this trend line that was broken last week. So cable, have a look at it. We get a break above here. We get a break above this. We want to look for a flag to go long. Guys, GBP, JPY. I do think we've got some further upside with this pair. You can see here we had a nice bullish move, nice correction, and then a nice push to the upside with a nice flag that formed. So we break this resistance level, but I do think we should test these levels before, because obviously we're going back into this range that we traded in for quite some time. So again, that will be a nice push from here to the upside. We go to a smaller time frame, and you'll see we've got the flag. So now we look to buy on the breakout of this, and we should look to go long. Stops to break even once we've got the nice breakout to a nice in profit, and then it's a risk-free trade. Alternatively, if we do get a break below, then obviously we look to trade it back to here. You get a break below this, you look for a flag before you look to sell. Happy trading. GBP New Zealand. This pair I'm looking to short this week, and you can see here we are currently trading in this channel here. We had a break last week. I'm going to probably take this out as a false breakout on the daily. Let's have a look at this candle, and let's see what that's like. Yeah, there we go. Nice little, you can see here we sort of had the impulse down. This is the correction that we've got, and then we're going to look for another push to the downside here. So again, obviously we're going to, in order to have this trade validated, we would need a push flag, and then we look for the downside from there. But you can see we've had a nice bullish move here, broken, retested, and now we're going to look to go long. So, but again, we would look to go short. Again, wait for a flag, for a sell setup to present itself, and then we look to go short back down to this bottom of this channel here. Boom. Let's see how it goes. Currently you can see we've just forming this bearish channel. We're either going to get a push straight down, or we're going to sort of trade within this range here, or back up to this channel here. So again, we're going to look for signals. Either we break below here, look for a sell setup to go short. Alternatively, look, if it's going to be a bullish signal, we look to go long at this region, and obviously our take profit will be sort of around here, trailing our stops all the way in case we do get this stop and then a push to the downside. If we look on a bigger time frame, you can see the overall outlook on this. Again, obviously we've got this impulse move. We now need to have the correction. So bang, bang, bang. Alternatively, we're just going to go straight down. So again, see how it goes. Wait for the setups to appear. So again, we have a break, then we look for a flag. If we don't get the flag, don't get in the trade short. If we get a bullish signal over here, nice bullish candle, look to go long. Trail your stops, because obviously we might get a reversal from here, but obviously this would be the intended target. That is USD CAD. USD ZAR, the final pair we're covering. You can see on the daily time frame we're now trading at resistance level of a nice bearish flag at the moment. Obviously, we had an impulse move to the upside. We've got a lot of rejection candles. This is the new spike last week. We go down to a day 4-hour time frame. Okay, you can see we had the push. We've now got this small correction here. If we actually look at the Elliott wave, okay, you can see we had a nice push correction back up to the upside, target 141, back down, target the 261. If you follow that wave analysis or that wave theory, this seems to have worked out pretty good. We now should have the ABC down before we have the further upside. We do have the elections coming up, and the South African economy is quite volatile at the moment, so be safe on this one. Again, we want to go to a 1-hour time frame. Look for that sell setup and then look for the trade short. Keep your stops tight. You can see here we do have a few big volatile candles, so again, look for the trade stop to break even as soon as possible and let the trade run. That's it. Happy trading.